Ramakrishna te Namaha. Talk with Ishan is going on. Sri Ramakrishna was very fond of Ishan, and various things he made him to speak out. Ishan indeed intended to retire to a solitary place and practice a special discipline of Gayatri. Gayatri is meant for spiritual awakening exclusively apart from our Ishta mantra. Those who are especially longing for realization of God will have this intense need of Gayatri. It is both prayer and a japa. It can be used as worship at various all aspects of sadhana. It can be used. The main thing, its main effect is as a prayer. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. Awaken my spiritual consciousness. I am filled with the consciousness of this world, everything. And what is needed of this world is not there in me. What is unwanted, what was pleasing to my mind, the objects of enjoyments have gone deep, left their deep roots in me. All that is good and right has evaporated. See, but it is not, mind is not catching. The world we have experienced, the world that is tempting us, the world that is evading us and making us chase behind it, that world alone is there in me. I do not know how to transcend except that I can think of you, pray to you. So this prayer, Dhimahi Prachodayat, I try to meditate upon you. I try to keep my mind upon you. A small circle, a small object of focus for me. Though you are infinite, though you are pervading everything, though my mind is not able to catch you. So, Dhimahi, Dhiyo yona prachodaya. Awake my spiritual consciousness, that consciousness which can understand you, realize you, make me transcend this nature and go beyond. So, this prayer, Gayatri, it needs a little conscious, means unaffected by external things. We drop away the all contents of the mind. It is like emptying a vessel completely, and then heart alone is linked to the innermost being. The heart is linked, or the mind and intellect are brought and merged in it, merged in the heart. Heart alone longs, and a short period at a stretch means 12 to 15 times repetition of Gayatri, because the intensity to be maintained in Gayatri is most important. It is not the period you spend in doing japa. Many people are there who want to do Purascharana. Number of letters, so many lakhs, is called a Purascharana. So 24 letters are there in Gayatri. 24 lakhs times the Gayatri is chanted. It's called Purascharana. Now many people do Purascharana, but the intensity with which the longing heart is going to pray won't be there. So number of Purascharanas also will not fetch anything as such. But few times when you empty the mind, Merge it in the heart. Heart alone speaks to God. Oh Lord, awaken my spiritual consciousness. I don't have anything that I can understand or hold except I have heard of your name. I have heard of scripture says something, realized sources say something. With that understanding, I am trying to meditate upon you. You awaken my spiritual consciousness and reveal yourself to me. This prayer is the prayer of Gayatri. This is done in a solitary place so that no disturbances or the intensity is not decreased because of the people around, all the duties or responsibilities that I have to undergo. So usually it is given during the Brahmacharya Diksha as a supportive mantra to awaken the spiritual consciousness, Adhyatmika Jagrata, Chaitanya Jagrata in an individual. So Ishan intended to do in a solitary place the practice of special discipline of Gayatri through which Brahman is invoked. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. Awaken my spiritual consciousness. Spiritual consciousness is independent of name, form and other things. It can be used for name, with name. Now I want to use it for Saguna Sakara of Divine Mother or Vishnu himself or Shiva. I can take the form and pray also. But in the mantra itself, there is no Saguna Sakara. Om Tat Savituhu Varenyam Bhargaha Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyaha Yaha Naha Prachodayat. These are the words. So now where the name is brought into picture, gunas are brought into picture. You are the absolute existence. Om. Tat, tat, that, idam, this. Tat always represents the absolute existence. Tat. And the whole of relative existence, the relative existence, the universe. Universe is relative existence in which it appears and disappears is absolute existence. In unchanging eternal reality, constantly changing flux. This constantly change. This is a speck in the huge ocean. The universe is a small speck. The whole universe in which we are living now is but a small speck that appears and disappears and constantly changing. It goes to its optimum level, again shrinks to dissolve, again appears, again shrinks to dissolve. This Srishti Sthiti Pralaya is constantly going on in the absolute existence. That Tat refers to the absolute existence. Idam refers to the whole universe. Sarvam khalvidam Brahma. Idam, the Tat Savituhu, that supreme light. Bhargaha, I meditate on Bhargaha. Bharga is light, the spiritual light is called Bharga. Bhargo Devasya. Deva is that which illumines. What does it illumine? It illumines all that exists. What does, for me, what does it meant? The path to reach is illumined. He is standing as the ultimate reality, beckoning me to come, like the lighthouse on the bank of an ocean, beckoning you, I am here, come this side, this side. So Deva refers to the illumining power of the Absolute that constantly beckons me and illumines my path to Him, and as Guru, the principle, the Ishvara Jiva Tarana Shakti of the Ishvara is called Guru. Jiva Tarana Shakti. He is making us cross Tarana Tarana. Cross over the samsara. So he is as Guru, he is holding my hand and leading, as if. So this illumination, who illumines your heart, who illumines your path, who illumines as Guru coming and giving you the mantra. As mantra, he is illuminating the mantra, and he is taking you by the drive. So all these aspects, Deva, Tat Savituhu. Savit is self-luminous, which doesn't need any light to know. No, like sun. So sun doesn't need, we don't need a torch or a light, any kind of, or a lamp to see sun. Sun is self-luminous and illumines all other things. Same way, the Absolute shines and illumines the whole universe, multiple universe, all jivas, whole universe of matter is illumined. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. So this tat savituhu varenyam, that has to be selected, varenyam. That is the supreme varenyam. Varenyam has two important meanings. Varenyam means the supreme. Varenyam means that it has to be selected. Vara is selection. Swayamvara. Vara means selection. Tat savitur varenyam bhargaha. That light of that Absolute. Tat savituhu. Shashti Bhakti belongs to Varenyam. Tat savituhu Shashti Bhakti. Varenyam bhargaha devasya dhimaya. Meditate on that light which illumines everything. Tat savitu varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyaha yaha naha prachodayat yo dhiyo yo na prachodayat. Dhiyaha, our intellect. It's a collective prayer. Always we cannot separate from the rest of the existence. This is exemplified in our small day-to-day life by living with all others as a whole. Sangachadvam, samvadidvam. Even between Guru, lowest relationship is between Guru and Shishya. Sahana bhavatu, sahana bhunaktu, sahaviryam karya bhava. Let us go together, let us attain together, let us strive for attaining together. The Guru Shishya, Mahavidvisha, and let us never part from each other because of any kind of misunderstanding or the hatred or dislike or contempt should not appear in between us to make us part. So from here, Sangachadvam, Samvadadvam, I am going to initiate you collectively in a particular path. Go together, Gurus. This is the last verdict of the Rig Veda, Sangachadvam, Samvadadvam. So this is the always go together. Don't feel yourself separated from anybody, any being. Otherwise, you are missing God, you are missing nature. Nature is in any aspect of your existence. Your bodily existence also, you are matter. Suppose you consider yourself to be matter, then also you cannot separate. So the whole universe is one block of matter with rarefied matter like air, gross matter, strong, dense matter like stone. Everything is matter, one block of matter. Some are rarefied, some are densified. So this whole universe, your body is a part of this universe, inseparable from the rest of the universe. You cannot take this body away from this universe at all. It will be in some form or other lying here in this. So also mind, one cosmic mind, of which our minds are all small, small parts. We have fenced Just like we have fenced this body as mine, myself, my mind, your mind, we have done a fencing, that's all. This is my place. Space is akhanda. Still we separate as if. You cannot separate space. It is akhanda, you cannot cut and separate it. You cannot take it out. Nothing can be done. Whatever you call yourself, be it senses or mind or intellect or anything, it belongs to the universe. It is an inseparable part of gross, subtle or causal existence. Your individual jivatva also belongs to you cannot separate, nothing can be separated. The moment you think your body and separate yourself, you are separating from God, separating from the nature. It's imaginary. You can never reach the truth by remaining separate. You have to dissolve yourself, totally to be one with everything, to be one with every being. So, likes and dislikes, ragadvesha and ahankara are to be dissolved. That for dissolution of ahankara, ego, which has kartrutva, bhoktritva and jnatritva, and for dissolving our individuality, personality, ego and ragadvesha. For dissolving all this, we use naha prachodayat, awaken our spiritual consciousness. Dhiya, dhi is singular, dhiya is plural. Yaha, naha, ours, not mine, mama. Mamadhi prachodayat is not there. Asmakam dhiyaha, naha dhiyaha. Naha dhiya prachodayat. It is always a collective prayer. You cannot do the individual prayer for the divine. As much you dissolve your bodily existence, you start expanding. You are moving towards your bodily existence is there, spiritual existence is there. Bodily existence and spiritual existence. They are two opposites as if. You have bodily existence, sharirika astitva, adhyatmika astitva. It is backing. Your body, you are thinking yourself body. Deha bhava. Slowly the Deha Bhava is dissolving and spiritually this totally disappears. With Atma Jnana, this bodily identity totally dissolves forever, never to appear again, Atma Jnana. So each time, Naha Prachodayat, you are separating, by telling Naha Prachodayat, you are separating from the bodily existence. You are shrinking back from the bodily existence and expanding in spiritual existence. The more you feel oneness with others, you are expanding. You reach the ultimate expansion of being one with God. So that's why Gayatri is an important prayer. All these are contemplated in Ekanta. You cannot, these are very subtle, means it has to go with experience. You must feel yourself separating from the bodily existence. You must feel yourself expanding with the spiritual existence. To the cosmic level, the individual, the microcosm has to merge in macrocosm. The individual Vyashti Chaitanya must merge in the Samashti Chaitanya. So you have to experience expansion of mind, expansion of heart, and expansion of awareness of being divine. So the Gayatri has two important parts to play. The first thing is Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat, awaken my spiritual consciousness. This is my prayer. I am self-offering, and I am Naha Prachodayat Dhiya. I'm expanding. Expansion and surrender. Expansion and surrender are the two parts that I'm going to play. I expand, I surrender. This is Tat Dhimahi. Dhimahi is my offering, myself. Prachodayat is my expansion. Dhiyaha, when it comes, it is expansion. Savituhu Dhimahi, I meditate, is my self-offering. Surrender, Sharanagati, Prapatti. Where Sharanagati and where we use, usually Sharanagati is when we bring Saguna Sakara into picture. Saguna Sakara. Prapatti I use most of the times we use the term Prapatti, total falling of myself, like I fall into the water. I am a sugar tablet, I am going to fall into the river. This is Prapatti. I want to dissolve in it. Prapatti. Sharanagati, I retain my individuality and I surrender to the Saguna Sakara. Prapatti is, we usually associate with Nirguna Nirakara. So here we see it is a Nirguna Nirakara Prapatti. Prapatti and Sharanagati are synonyms, but small difference in shade we can conceive of. So this he wants to do in ekanta solitude, separating from all things, duties and responsibilities, people who can disturb, situations which can disturb, then circumstances which can disturb, and living alone. With whatever comes is contented. Anything he wants to tell, there is God to tell. I am alone. The alone with a small letter is walking towards the alone of the Absolute. That is also alone, I am also alone. And these pilgrims we see, Yatri, they will go for Brahmana from one Yatra Tirtha Kshetra to another Tirtha Kshetra. When they go, they do not possess anything. Narmada Parikrama. In Narmada Parikrama, we don't possess anything. So we go with empty hands, total dependence on God. Whatever you give, wherever you give, no options. So I may have to sleep on the street, I may have to sleep in the under a tree, wherever, whatever condition comes, I have nothing. And is there nothing, no shelter for you, nothing to ask? No, I have got to. My great agony within. Yeah, I feel hungry. I have not got food 3 days over. I don't ask anybody. I unburden my heart. Whom to tell? I unburden my heart to God alone. In Yatra, for Tirtha Kshetra, pilgrimage. Pilgrim. So when pilgrim is moving, his total dependence and companion is God alone. No other possessions, no other. As you keep, so I will be. Total dependence. And anything happens, he has his Lord to tell, complain, or to give his ask for needs, tell about pains. Many situations we come across in our lives that we have no other alternative but to offer ourselves totally to God. My walking in the Narmada corn, this one, Narmada Parikrama, the legs start paining. Usually people complete about at least 20 kilometers walking. Then at night they sit and tell my Divine Mother, Mother, my legs are paining. You come now, you help me a little. Morning I have to walk again, make me sleep, and all this. And where are they sleeping? Somewhere in the forest area, full of mosquitoes. You cannot sustain yourself. You have to go on scratching here, there, trying to cover with one cloth that you have brought with you. So this is how they live with total dependence on God. So here a little more arrangement is made that you are not deprived of basic needs: food, clothing, shelter. Minimum requirements is provided in solitary living. And so Ishan wants to go that way, to solitary living, to practice this Gayatri. And Thakur is telling him, Ishan intended to retire to a solitary place and practice a special discipline of the Gayatri, through which Brahman is invoked. The Bhargo Devasya is invoked. The Brahman, the absolute existence in which the universe appear and disappear, that is invoked. Brahman is invoked. But the master said that knowledge of Brahman was not possible. He is trying to invoke Brahman through Gayatri. But Thakur is telling, but master said that knowledge of Brahman was not possible without complete destruction of worldliness. Worldliness. Why I am doing Gayatri is to get rid of that worldliness. Worldliness, I am filled with worldliness. Only Jagat Prajna is there. Bhagavad Prajna is not there. So that worldliness I have to get. The more I think of God, I feel less and less of my, this one is my decreasing. I am aware of divine, I am less aware of the world. It is declining. So Sri Ramakrishna says this worldly awareness, worldly awareness is different from worldliness. Worldliness is I am desiring for enjoyments and possessions. Name, fame, putreshana, viteshana, lokeshana, kamini kanchana. This, even the slightest small degrees of desire, identity with body remains, he cannot attain Brahma Jnana. Sri Ramakrishna is making it clear. But Master said that knowledge of Brahman was not possible without complete destruction of worldliness. That worldliness has to disappear in its totally, means nothing of that is left. No desire of the world for possessions or enjoyment. The awareness may not go away, but it will be for sacrifice, for love of the beings, nothing for me. That awareness will remain. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.